Harihi Om. Kujantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakam Vandehe Valmiki Kokilam Valmikir Munisimhasya Kavita Vanacharinaha Shrunvan Ramakatanatam Konayati Parangatim Vaidehi Sahitam Suradrumatale Haime Mahamantape Madhye Pushpakamasane Manimaye Pirasane Sustitam Agre Vachayati Prapanjana Sute Tattvam Munibhyah Param Vyakyantam Bharadadibhih Parivritam Ramam Bhaje Syamalam. Namassabhayai. Adya Vartamana Katha Prasange Purva Katha Sangrahascha Sri Ramayana Lecture Series Part 12 Art of Living. We are in Balakanda, the first Kanda of Valmiki Ramayanam and Ramayanam lectures. In this time and age where there is lot of stressful activities going on in the world, whether it is geopolitical scenario or economic situation, Ramayana is a living text. So we have taken it upon us at the Hindu Temple of Lubbock to understand Ramayana, written by many authors. First and foremost, Adhikavi, Valmiki, then Goswami Tulsidas ka Charitra Manas, Kritibas ka Bengal Ramayana, our Gujarati mein Giridhara Das, and the magnum opus of the Tamil poet Kamban. So all talk about the life of walking dharma. Hindi mein ek kahavat hai. There is a saying in Hindi, naam aur namak ke liye ladna padta hai. So if you have to get a name or if you have to improve your character, namak idhar to sheel gun ka misal hai. So here the salt represents the character. If one has to gain name and one has to imbibe good characters, they have to work hard. Naam aur namak ke liye ladna padta hai. So Ram ne ladaya. Balakant se Uttarakant tak, what Ram has been doing is Rama has been fighting. What is he fighting for? Is he fighting for his name? Ram doesn't need to fight for his name. But he fights for what he represents, that is dharma. Saka dharma maya asarata jhake jivana kahana katahu riputa ke sauraj dhiraj tehi rata chaka satyashila drida dvaja pataka. Tulsidas ka itna beautiful chaupahi. Tulsidas says, what is Rama standing for? What is Rama walking on? What is Rama riding on? His chariot, his rath to dharma. He is only for dharma. He himself says, this is Tulsi ka Chaupai, Tulsidas ka 4-line poem. In that he says, Rama says, my friend, he is dharma. I ride the chariot of dharma. Sakha dharma maya asarata jhake. What are the 4 wheels? The 4 wheels of the chariot are Sauraj, Dhiraj, confidence. Tehi Rata Chahaka. And what is that is flying high on the hoist of the chariot is Satya, Shila, Drida, Dvaja, Pataka. So Ram stands for Dharma. Ram fights for Dharma. Naam के लिए लड़ता है, धर्म के लिए लड़ता है. उसका नमक क्या है? नमक तो उसका शील है. It is like the salt represents the innate nature, the character. That's why बापूजी ने salt सत्याग्रह किया. नवसारी से धंडी तक उन्होंने किया. ये तो this is the representation of the soul of oneself and soul of nation. So Ramayana is a great epic poem of a warrior who fought not for power, who fought not for wealth, but for dharma. Ramaha Vigrahavan Dharmaha Sadhu Satya Parakramaha. He only fought for Dharma. So we are in Balakanda. Where have we gone so far? We have gone up to the Balakanda where they are entering Mithila. So this is one of the great cornerstone of Balakanda is Mithila Pravesham. Purva Katha Sangrahasya. Where are we? Maricham Dhavayitva Makashirasi Sharaihi Anya Rakshamsi Nignan Kalyam Kurvan Ahalyam Patipada Rajasa Prapya Vaideha Geham Bindanas Chandra Chudam Danuhu Avani Sutam Indira Meva Labdwa Rajyam Pratishtatastvam Tribira Picha Samam Bratru Virai Sadharai. We are indeed fortunate to have Professor Lisa Garner, a senior professor in the School of Music, to attend this lecture. So I will try to make as simple as possible, and I will try to decipher the Sanskrit slogan as well. Where are we? So he has ridden off Maricha to somewhere yonder in the ocean. Maricham dravayitva makashirashi sharaihi anya raksham sinignan. In his ashrama called Siddhasrama, he has driven away all the Rakshasas, all the enemies, so that Viswamithra can do his yaga, penance. Then Kalyam Kuruvan Ahalyam, he made Ahalya, the wife of Gautama, pious. So there are three major stories we have studied so far in Balakanda as side stories, and one important story is Ahalyaka Vrittanta. Pati Pada Rajasa Prapya Vaideha Geham. Then he is entering Videha Rajya. So that is what we are. Kalyam Kurvan Ahalyam Patipada Rajasa Prapya Vaideha Geyam. That's where we are. Prapya Vaideha Geyam. They are entering the city of Mithila, which is part of Videha Raja. The Videha Raja is Janaka. Janaka's daughter is Sita, with whom Rama is going to wed soon. So what is happening? So there are three major stories we have studied. One is the Utpatti of Ganga. How did the river Ganges originate? The second is the Utpatti of Skanda, Devasenapati, Ganga Gangeya. And then we have studied Ahalya. And we are now understanding the biopic of the sage Viswamithra. Why is this important? We stated in the beginning of today's lecture, very important lecture indeed, to me at least, is Ramayana becomes a living text to lead a good way of life, particularly when the war is going on for nearly 20 months in Eastern Europe. It's not only the valor, the diplomacy also plays a part. And in 15 chapters, in 15 sargas, the sage Sadananda, who is the preceptor of Janaka Raja, in other words, who is the preceptor of Sita Ma, is going to talk about the story of Viswamithra. Why did Valmiki bring and labor so much? 15 chapters, several slokas on Viswamithra. Why did he do that? There is a reason to it. Who was Viswamithra? Viswamithra was a warrior. His father was Gadi Sutta. Okay, Viswamithra was a warrior. So he started his life as a king. Then when he is king, he is full of two things: ahankara, mamakara, me and I. That is why he wanted the milking cow, the Kamadenu's daughter, Sabala. So this belonged to Vashista, who uses it for Loka Sevartam. Vashista uses the cow for Loka Seva, for feeding the poor, for his yajna and other good deeds. But Viswamithra, being a king, he wanted to get it, so he uses force. But he didn't get that by force. Then he realizes that he has to control his indriya, he has to control his senses, he has to control his manas. Then, more than the bravery, more than the power, the diplomacy, the art of living, the way of living will fetch you things. That's what is happening in the world now. We use this text to understand how things are going on today. So this Ramayana was written in some yuga, Treta Yuga. But what we see today is clearly explained with different heroes and heroines in Ramayana. So that is what here. So Ramayana, today's lecture is about living and very dynamic story. It is a aid memoir for life. So what happens? Sadananda recites the story of Viswamithra. Rama, Lakshmana and Viswamithra are yet to enter the city of Mithila. They are staying in a very quiet, in a place where they can rest and relax, Upavana, outside, in the outskirts of city of Mithila. And the Sadananda tells to Rama and Lakshmana, do you know who is guiding you? This person is a very famous sage who metamorphosized from being an ordinary person, from being a person who is full of ego, bravery and valor, to a Brahma Rishi. So I am going to tell you the life story of Viswamithra so that you and every human being can use this as a model to improve themselves. So what happens? So Viswamithra enters the hermitage of Vashista. Vashista is Brahma's son. Then the Veda says, Athithi Devo Bhava. What is Ramayana? Ramayana is a living text. Ramayana is a dynamic text. But Ramayana is a Upabrahmanartham. Vedas explain it. It explains Veda with stories so that people can come, people can understand, people can enjoy. So Veda says, Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. So far the stories are focused on Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. Because Rama is dutifully following the words of Viswamithra. Then comes Athithi Devo Bhava. Vasishta's deeds to Viswamithra when he hosts Viswamithra is an epitome of Atithi Samskara. How do you pay your respect? How do you treat your host? So we are now in the fourth phase, Athithi Devo Bhava. So Viswamithra has come with his battalion, Akshauni. He has come with Ratha, Gaja, Turaga, Padadi. He has come with his charioteers. He had come with a lot of elephants. He had come with lot of horses. And he has also come with lot of army men. So how to feed them? Viswamithra and his forces were hungry. So Vashishta did not even think a bit. So he calls his sister-like, daughter-like cow, young cow by name Sabala. Sabala is a sister of Nandini. Sabala and Nandini are all daughters of Kamadhenu. Kamadhenu is the Devalog ka Gomata. Yehi sabale chipram shrunu chapi macho mama. This is the words of Vashishta. Yehi, hey, come. Affectionately you call somebody. The Sanskrit word is yehi, come. Yehi sabale chipram. Come quick. The guests are waiting. Let's not keep them waiting. Yehi sabale chipram shrunu chapi vacho mama. Sabalasyasya Rajarishe Kartum Yavastitosmyam. Rajarishi has come. Viswamithra has come with his battalion. We have to feed him. Bhojanena Maharnena Satkaram Samvidaswame. Satkaram. We have to feed them with good food. Maharnena Bhojanena, because they are hungry. Maharnena Bhojanena Satkaram Samvidaswame Atiti Devo Bhava. So in Indian Sanatana Dharma, in every culture, 4 things are revered in a griha. If somebody in a family, there are 4 most important things that has to be revered. First, Matha, then Dharti, then Nadi, Tirth. Our 4th is cow. So Matha, mother, motherland, waterways, and then cow. So he is not ordering. Vashishta is not ordering. He, in a way, mollycoddling the young calf and cow. Yehi shabale chipram. Please come. Shrunu chapi vacho mama. Beautiful Sanskrit verse. Sabalasyasya rajarishe kartum yavastosmyam bhojanena maharnena sadkaram samvidasvame. So why he did it? Because Veda says this. Aghora sakshuhu apatignedihi Shivapatibhyah Sumanasaha Suvarchasaha Sanno Bhavadvipade Chanchadushpade. Indian scriptures are beautiful. It's pity that we don't understand the meaning. So this is how Vivaha happens. The union between man and woman happens according to Vedic ritual. What happens? First, the Guzurlok, the elders in the family go and then look for the bride for their bridegroom. So they go look, understand, they stay in the bride's house for a few days. This is Vedic ritual. So they then decide, okay, this girl will be suitable for this boy, and then they try to get into a common place and bring the girl and the boy to meet with each other. This is there in Vedic ritual. Aghora chakshuhu. Then they are introducing the girl to the boy. Aghora chakshuhu apatignedihi Shivapatibhyah Sumanasaha Suvarchasaha Sanno Bhavadvipade Chanchadushpade. This is the first mantra in Vivaha, in Vedic Vivaha. The Purohits don't have much time, they don't explain, but beautiful. Hey boy, see this lady, Aghora Chakshuhu. So what I said, 4 things are revered. So that is what Vashista brings this Veda in his way of living. So Aghora Chakshu, she is beautiful. Look at her eyes. Her eyes are telling love. Her eyes are going to help you. Aghora Chakshuhu apatignedihi. She is going to live long and make sure her pati means the family members live long. Apatignedihi. Then Shiva Patibhyah means Devarji, Nanandini, and Sabi, Garme, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, father-in-law, mother-in-law. She is going to make them all happy. Shiva Patibhyah Sumanasaha. Let her be happy in her mind. Sumanasaha Suvarchasaha. Let her be healthy. If she is healthy, then the 2-legged people, the 2-legged animal in the house will be healthy and happy. Sanno Bhavadvipade. Then comes Sanchatushpate. All the 4-legged animals will be taken care because of this lady. This is what Vashista does. Exactly from Yajurveda. Yajurveda says this, and this is the first and foremost important mantra the Purohit has to recite, and then the bridegroom has to say, and the family members of the bridegroom in the sadas have to recite. Aghora Chakshuhu apatignedihi Shivapatibhyah Sumanasaha Suvarchasaha Sanno Bhavadvipade Chanchadushpade. So the Vedic ritual of Vivaha starts with this beautiful mantra. So Vashista has taken care of Chatushpad. What is the Chatushpad? Sabala. Then he begs, Yasya yata kamam shadraseshva avipujitam. Then he is going to talk about how to cook food. Ramayana has so much. Shadras. If you have to feed a guest, you have to make food that will have 6 rasas, 6 tastes. Shadrashesva avipujitam tatsarvam kamaduk divye abhivarsha krite mama. 6 rasas. What are 6 rasas? Sweet, bitter, salt, sour, acidic, alkaline. So he asked Kamadenu's daughter Sabala to make hundreds of food in a minute that will have the balance of 6 rasas. Gujarati thali jaisa. Okay. Yasya yata kamam shadrasheshu avipujitam tatsarvam kamaduk. Kamaduk mane Sabala. Divya duk means duhini, one it gives. That is why girls are called duhin and bhagin. Duhin means they care for it, but it gets translated into duhini means one who takes away things from father. In either way it is correct. Tat sarvam kamaduk divye abhivarsha krite mama. Then he says what type of food you should make. He also gives, because they are taking such a meticulous care in hosting the guest. Valmiki does. He is a sage. But look what he does. Rasena annena panena lekhya choshyena samyutam. 6 rasas with 4 different types of food. First, rasena annena. The anna should be swad. Annena panena. Make some drinks. Ras. Anna. Then Lekhyam, that can be lip. Lip and Lekhyam. Lekhyam is a Sanskrit word. We know that can be used, that can be taken inside with the help of lift. Hence the name Lekhyam or Lekhyam, lip Lekhyam, either way. Lekhya Choshyena. Choshyena means that you could sip and eat. 4 different types of food. What are those? Annam, Panam, Lekhyam, Choshyam. All these should have 6 different rasas. Annanam nichayam sarvam srujasva shabale tvare. Don't waste time. Tvara. Quickly make 4 different types of food with 6 different rasa. Why? The Lord Krishna imbibes this, and then he talks to Arjuna that I am inside your body and I digest 4 different types of food. Aham Vaishvanaro bhutva praninam devamashritaha pranapana samayuktaha pachami annam chaturvidam. Beautiful. Ramayana is the base. So Gita talks about same 4 different 5 types of food. What does he say? In Vibhuti Yoga. Aham Vaishvanaro bhutva. I am like your Jataragni. I am the Agni that is in your stomach that digests. It's a digestive enzyme, I guess. Aham Vaishvanaro bhutva. Vaishvanara means Agni. Vaishvanaro bhutva praninam devamashritaha prana pana samayuk. There should be a balance between annam and drinks. Right? People say 2 to 3 liters of water. Then you should have a balance between solid food and the liquid. Right? Prana pana samayuktaha. It should be in the balanced form. Ramayana says, Gita says, Prana pana samayuktaha pachami annam chaturvidam. Kya hai chaturvid? Annam, panam, lekhyam, choshyam, shadrasa. Ikshu madum statala jane maireyam shavara asavane panani cha maharnani bhakshyam ucha avacham stata. He says, make food that is big, that is small. Like Bhupa, like Bhupa, Masha Bhupam, Guda Bhupam, like this puff. Make those things that are big, make things that are very small, laddu. Ikshu madum statala jane, make the puff rice pipe. Valmiki gives like that. It makes some food that is tasting like ikshu, like sugar cane, like honey. Madhum stata laja. Laja means puff, rice puff. Maireyam chavara asavane. Different types of rasa, different types of pana. Panani cha maharnani bhakshyami. Then that is kadva, like something that is like mixture, something you can bite with your teeth, bhakshyam. So make all these 4 or 5 slokas Valmiki dedicates to talk about what kind of Atiti Samskaram you should do. Then Nana Swadu Rasanam cha Shadvanam cha Taivata Bhojanani Supurnani Gaudani cha Sahasrasha. Don't just make 2 or 3, make plenty. Sahasrasha, varied combination. Kya kya? Bhojanani Supurnani Gaudani. Good means the good. Good means what? Jaggery. Bhojanani supurnani gaudani cha sahasrasha. Make so many varieties that will follow these 4 different types of food that will reflect these 6 different types of rasa. 6 times 4 times 1000. Imagine this many heaps and heaps of food. Samatyo mantri sahisaha sabritya pujitastada. There again art of living. Atiti Samskara. Then Viswamithra got perplexed and he was stunned. I have so many ministers, I have so many army men, I have so many charioteers. Can you feed? Vashista made sure that Viswamithra ate with everybody. None were left peckish. Samatyo mantri sahitaha sabritya. Britya means soldiers. Samatya, amatya means ministers. Mantri, superior minister. Samatyo mantri sahitaha sabritya pujitastada yuktaha parama harshena vasishtam vida. Everybody ate. Ekaswaduna bunjita dasabisaha. You should not eat alone. Ekaswaduna bunjita dasabisaha. You have to eat with lot of people. So this 52nd sarga talks about Atiti Samskaram. Vashista made sure that everybody were fed with so many varieties that made them happy. Samatyo mantri sahitah sabhrityah pujitastata yuktah paramarshena vasishtam idam abravit. I will make sure, Vasishtaha idam abravit. Vasishta made sure and he told Viswamithra, I'll make sure everybody is fed. So, feeding people is very, very important. So, in Mahabharata, in Udyoga Parva, so much emphasis has been given to feeding the guest. The most important guest one can have is Lord Krishna in Sanatana Dharma. In Purushottama Masa, everybody has to invite Lord Purushottam, Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, Lord Rama to the home. Right? So even enemies like Duryodhana was very particular. When Krishna comes as a doot, as a diplomat on behalf of Pandavas to meet with Duryodhanadis, to meet with Duryodhana and his brother and his father, Duryodhana very well knows that Krishna will not stay, but he made important plea, and Vyasa makes it a point to say that Atiti Samskara is very important. Pujam kritam priyamano namamsta Purushottama. What a coincidence. This month is Purushottama. Duryodhana addresses Krishna. He didn't call him as Janardana. He didn't call him as Krishna. He says, you are Purushottama. You are a Shrestha Purusha. I have to feed you. Please come. When he goes to the Sabha, when he goes to the palace, he goes, and then first he goes to the palace because he is a Dut. So he is going to tell Dhritarashtra and others that I have come on behalf of Pandavas, and then he is going to go to Vidura's house. That's a different story. But when he first goes to the Sabha, Badi Sabha mein wo jaate the to Duryodhan ne usko pranam karke he is asking Krishna, "Hey Purushottama, please come and dine with me. Pujam kritam priyamano namam stav Purushottama vairam no nasti bhavata govinda na cha vigra." Beautiful. 4 slokas in Udyoga Parva is beautiful. He says there is no enmity between you and me. So I hope you will come and take the food in my house. The first thing when Duryodhana talks, Pujam kritam, he pleads. He does puja to Purushottama. Can you believe? Pujam kritam priyamano namamsta Purushottama vairam no nasti. There is no enmity between vairam na nasti. There is no enmity between you and me. Bhavata naha. There is no enmity between us and you. Bhavata naha vairam nasti. Govinda. So you please come. But then Krishna says this. That's very important. You have to give food with love. It doesn't matter what type of food you give. You have to give food with love. Dvishadannam na bhoktavyam dvishantam naiva bhoje. Beautiful sloka in Mahabharata. Dvishadannam na bhoktavyam dvishantam naiva bhojayete pandavan dvishase rajan mama prana hi pandavaha. This is the punchline. Mana prana hi pandavaha. For yonder, for years, I have been closely attached to Pandavas. So there is a saying, Shastra says, you should not go to a place where there is no love. Dvishat, enemy. Dvishadannam na bhoktavyam. Dvishadannam na bhoktavyam. Dvishantam naiva bhojayet. You should not eat the food. Dvishadannam, that is not with love and affection. Similarly, you should not go to your enemy's place and eat. What a beautiful saying. Dvishadannam na bhoktavyam. Dvishantam naiva bhojayet. Pandavan dvishase rajan. Dvishase rajan Pandavas. Pandavas are enemy to you. Enemies. Enemy, friends, enemy is my enemy. This is also a way of living. So, Pandavan dvishase rajan mama prana hi Pandava akasmat dvishase rajan janma prabhriti Pandavan. So, food, atiti samskaram. Krishna makes it a point to explain where you should eat, how should you eat. And then he explains, it doesn't matter. You don't have to feed like what Vashishta fed Viswamithra. It's fine. Patram pushpam palam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upakritam ashnami prayatatmanaha. Palam putram, palam pushpam patram. It doesn't matter. Palam, you give fruit. Like Shabari is going to give in Valmiki Ramayana. Palam, patram, leaf, throw tulsi tala. It doesn't matter. Palam, patram, pushpam, toyam, toyam mane tirth. You just give me just water, it's fine. Yo me bhaktya prayachati. But it has to be given with love. That is what Vidura does. What did Vidura give? We'll see that. Yo me bhaktya prayachati tad aham bhakti upakritam. I take it as a model, take it as an epitome of bhakti. Tad aham bhakti upakritam. Ashnami. Ashnami means eat. Ashnami prayatatmanaha Gita. 9th chapter. So, Valmiki Ramayana is the stage. Then, after Krishna refuses, but he didn't refuse blindly. He gives a valid reason. Dvishadanam na bhoktavyam. I will not eat the food that is given without love and affection. You may say that you have love, but the Shastra says, I cannot go to your enemy's place because you are an enemy of my friend. Enemy of my friend is my enemy. So that is also Shastra. Then he goes to Vidura. What did Vidura give? Just a vessel of water. Apam kumbam anyat. He did not give anything. Anyat apam kumbam. He did not. Apam means water. Ap means water. Kumbh means vessel. He just only said, hey Krishna, take this. Anyat apam kumbam. Then what he did? Padhara vinda sevanam. Then what he did? He just fell at his feet. Anyate kumbam apam kumbam padhara vinda sevanam. That's all. So, Atiti Samskaram with love is important. This Ramayana mein Goswami catches it. In Ayodhya Kand mein Goswami catches Ramahi Kevala Prema Piyara. What Rama wants, what Rama drinks. People ask, what he drinks, what he eats. Ramahi Kevala Prema Piyara Jani Levu Jo Janihara. Beautiful chaupai. Rama sakala banachara tabatoshe. So he made the Aztecs, he made the people living in the hermitage happy by just taking what they gave. Like Shabari gave the pal, Agastya gave fruits, Gautama gave water. That's all. Ram sakala banachara tabatoshe kahi mrud vachan prema paripo. Give food with love, talk sweetly. But don't be conniving, but talk with open heart. Kahi mrid vachan prema pariposhe bida kiye chira nahi siddhaye prabhu guna kahat sunat gar. What a beautiful chaupai. Prabhu guna kahat sunat gar aaye. All the Lord cares is love and affection. Whether it is Valmiki Ramayana or Gita or Tulasika Ramayana, anything it is. So, Vashishta gave the utmost best Atiti Samskara, and then he calls Yehi Sabale. So, Bhagyada Lakshmi Bharam Nammani Saubhagyada Bhagyada Lakshmi Bharam. So, Lakshmi Bharam. This is a beautiful Purandradas ka Kannada Kriti. Kannada language mein Kriti. Bhagyada Lakshmi Bharam. So you have to treat women, you have to treat cow, you have to respect Nadi, you have to, most importantly, you have to respect Dharti. Bhagya, because they give Bhagyam, Bhaga. Bhaga means Saubhagyam. Shraddha Bhagasya Murdhani. Bhaga means Bhagya, wealth, bounty. Okay, so Bhagya the Lakshmi Bharam Gejja Kalaga Dvaniya Toruta Hejjaya Mele Hejjaya Nikuta Bhagya the Lakshmi Bharam. So he pats Sabala. Sabala feeds everything. Then the problem came. This is what we are here. We need to understand what's going on. The Ahankara. I am the king. Now what's happening in Ukraine and Russia? That's quite what Ramayana describes, is going to describe in this sarga. But it won't talk about Russia and Ukraine, but it will talk about Viswamithra and Vashishta. The minute you see he's a king, he's full of ahankara, he's full of valor. The minute he said, God, how did this guy with one cow feed and made us happy? So he didn't thank. Instantaneously his vakra buddhi, his valor, his ahankara, mamakara for Viswamithra kicked in. Then he says, then he is trying to get that thing. He wants to possess the best thing the other person has. That is the reason Valmiki labored 10 sargas, 15 sargas in fact. Sarga 51 to sarga 65. 51 to 65, 15 sargas on Viswamithra, because people have to know how to improve, how to metamorphosize, how to grow, how to mature from an ordinary man, from a king full of himself, to a Raja Rishi, and then to Brahma Rishi. 15 sargas. So he starts, his valor kicks in. I need to get this Sabala. So he's not asking. See, that is the thing. Then also he is not being true to himself. He should have immediately asked Vashishta to give me the Sabala. He's not. He's tempting him. Look, Gavam Shata Sahasrena Dhiyatam Shabala Mama. Okay, I'm going to exchange your Shabala with 1,000 Gavam Shata Sahasrena. 100,000 cows I am giving. Give me this Sabala. Gavam Shata Sahasrena Dhiyatam Shabala Mama. Ratnam hi Bhagavan Yetati Ratnahari cha Parthiva. In addition to this 100,000 cows I am giving, those will be all studded with Ratnani Parthiva. Whatever the gems this land gives, I am going to ornament these 100,000 cows. Give it to me. There again Ahankara. Tasman me shabalam dehi mamaisha dharmata. Then he says this, like somebody saying, this land belongs to me. That is the reason I am legitimate to conquer. Right? Somebody is saying, right? Similarly, he says, I am going to give you this, but I am the Raja. So Raja is the only one who should have the best things. So this is dharma. He is twisting dharma. Tasman me shabalam dehi. You give me shabala because that is what Raja Dharma says. Because the king only should have. Mama yesha dharmato dvija. This is dharma. So he gives. He is demanding. Then Vashishta, he says, no. I'm using this for loka karyartham, loka kalyanartham. I'm using it to feed many people. I'm using it for my own yajna, yaga. There are so many rishis in this. So anybody can come and eat. Why do you want it? Naham shata sahasrena napi koti shatairga. You give 100,000. You give 1,000 crores. I don't care. Rajanne dasyami shabalam rashibihi rajatasya va. You give heaps of rajat. Rajat means silver. You give heaps. Rashi means bounty. Heaps and heaps of silver and gold you give. I will not give. Then he says, if Sabala wants to come, you take her. That is diplomacy. See, we talked about what is exactly happening now. Greed, valor, twisting the dharma. And then comes Vashishta, the other side, where countries have Sangatan kiya na, kuch countries abhi Sangat karke, that country they are trying to protect. Right? So, isiliye Vashishta does that in a diplomatic way. Vashishte naiva muktastu Viswamitro atabravit samrabdhataram atyartam. He talks with such a compelling logic. Samrabdhataram means compelling, forcefully, but in a logic way. Atyartam, he talks with logic. Whereas Viswamithra did not talk with logic. Vashishta talks forcefully with logic, diplomacy. And Valmiki uses a word called Vakya Visharadaha. Vashishta knows how to talk, how to play diplomacy. Samrabdhataram, not Samrabdham, Samrabdhataram, uttermost compelling in a logical way. Samrabdhataram atyartam vakyam Vakya Visharadaha. So he explained, okay, I use it for many people. What is the reason? You can have it there or here, let it be here. Whenever you want, you come and have it. So he says this in a compelling way and a logic way. Greed kicks in. Viswamithra is not agreeing. Then he says, okay, this guy may be feeling this is not enough, so I'm going to up the ante. So, Hairanya Kakshagraihi Veyane Suvarnankusha Bhushitane. Okay, first I said I'll give you cows. Forget cows. I'm going to give you elephants. Hairanya Kakshagraihi Veyane Suvarnankusha Bhush. Suvarna, not only elephants, but I will ornament the elephant with all the ornaments made of diamonds and Suvarna, and I also give you the stick, Ankusha, that is also made of Suvarna. How many I am going to give you? 1,000 elephants. Can you think? Feeding 1,000 elephants. and 1,000 mahuts and 1,000 orchids he has to give. He says, Hairanya kakshagrai veyani suvarnankusha bhushitani dadami kunjaram. Kunjaram means young, beautiful elephant. It's not old elephant that is going to meet the grave soon. No, kunjaram. Dadami kunjaranam te sahasrani chaturdasha. 14,000 elephants studded with ornaments, with ankusha, with that paraphernalia I'm going to give you. Forget the cows, which I promised to give you 100,000 cows. Doesn't matter. I'm going to give you 14,000 elephants. Okay. Hairanyanam. Then he says, maybe this may be not enough. Okay, let me give you lot of golden chariots. He says this. Hairanyanam ratanam cha sveta asvanam chaturijam. Each chariot is driven by 4 horses. Dadamite satan yashtau. 800 such ratha. 8 satani ashtau. 8 times shat, 100. 800 chariots. Each chariot driven by 4. So 8 times 4 is 32. 3,200 horses. All studded with diamond. Kinkinika vibhushitani. First cows. Go away. Then he says, 14,000 elephants, go away. In addition, keep them. Okay, you don't have to give me the cows back, keep it. Okay, I'm giving you. Dadamite shatan yashtau kinkini kavibhushitane. Then he says, then don't think I'm giving you a dead horses. These are all Arabic horses. He writes like that. Hayam means horse. Hayanam desha jatanam kulaja, breed, thorough breed. Desha jatanam kula jatanam. Valmiki writes this. They are from such a breed. Jayanam, Desha Jatanam, Kulajanam, Mahaujasam, that can run faster. Sahasram ekam dasham. I'll give you 11,000 sahasram ekam. Ekam dasha. That means 10 plus 1 is 11. 11,000 such horses I will give you separately. He's keeping on tempting. Look, this is diplomacy. So Rama is good at that. Then, Nana Varna Vibhaktanam Vayastanam. Don't think I'm giving old horses. Vayastanam, Yavana, beautiful thoroughbred horse. Nana Varna Vibhaktanam Vayastanam Tataivacha Dadami Ekam Gavam. Okay, you think that cows? Forget it. My minister told me that we have so many young cows. I'm going to give you how much? Dadami Ekam Gavam Kotim. 1 crore, 10 million cows. Come on, take it. You don't want 100,000, forget it. You don't want 14,000 elephants. I don't mind taking it back. You keep it. Finally, this is the final offer. What is the final offer? Dadami ekam gavam kotim shabalam diyatam. I'll give you 10 million cows, young cows, milking cows. This is my final offer. Give it to me. So what did he do? First, there is the 4 arts of dealing, negotiation. Sam, Dhan, Bed, Dand. So now Viswamithra is going to come to do the Dand. Sarasa, Samadana, Beda, Danda, Chatura. In Rag Kapinarayani, Tyagaraja sings Sarasa, Samadana, Beda, Danda, Chatura. How did Rama learn to capture Ravana? Through Viswamithra. Sarasa Samadhana Beda Danda Chatura. In Kapinarayani, in Telugu, Tyagaraj sings. Lisa might know Tyagaraj, right? So, Sarasa Samadhana Beda Danda Chatura. Hey Rama, I know how you won. Tyagaraja says, Ita Umatalento Bagapalikitivi. First, you sent Maruti, you sent Hanuman, then you sent Angad to talk, negotiate. Hita Uma Talento. A beautiful Kapinarayani. Hita Uma Arikambadi Denya. Hita Uma Talento. Bagapalikiti. Hita Umatali. Ento Hita Matali. Ento diplomatic words Maruti and Angata used that brought Vibhishana to come to you. So Sam, Dan. Then what did he do? When Vibhishana came, in Rameshwar, what did Rama did? I am making you the king of Lanka. Even though Rama did not win Ravana, he immediately crowned him. Right? Sarvaloka Sharanyaya Raghavaya Mahatmane Nivedayatamam Kshipram Vibhishanam Upastitam. Vibhishana was in the air, in the amber, and he said, I am come, Sarvaloka Sharanya, I take refuge in you. Then immediately, after listening to the words of Hanuman, he said, okay, I am going to crown you, Samadana. He gifted Lanka without even winning. Then some people asked, how can Rama do that? What if Rama lost? Then Rama said, I don't mind, I know, I have trust in Bharata. Bharata is going to give Ayodhya back to me. I'll give Ayodhya to him. Samadana. Then what did he do? By doing this, Sakradeva Prapannaya Tavasmiti Ya. One time, Sakradeva, he just wanted Vibhishana to say, I take refuge in you. That is also one time. Sakradeva. Then he split Ravana and Vibhishana. Bed. Then he killed. Sarasa Samadana Bedadanda Chatura. What to say, what not to say. Then Hitavuma Talento Baga Palikiti Hitavuma Talento Baga Palikiti. So Viswamithra's story enabled Rama to know that one has to first to do Samadana Bed Dand. That is what happened. They talk. Secretary of State goes, Foreign Minister comes, they talk, they then say, okay, I'll give you this, I'll do this trade with you. Then they try to cabal people together, cajole people together, group people together, then nothing happens, bomb. Danda Chatura. Then he negotiated, he gave final offer, they sweet talked, Viswamitra sweet talked, Vashishta sweet talked, nothing happened. Then Viswamitra starts fighting Vashishta. He didn't go fight Vashishta. He just went to this Abala, this Sabala. Niyamana tu Sabala Rama Rajna Mahatmana Dukkita Chintaya Masa Urudanti Soka Karshi. Then they tried to drag all these brave soldiers of Viswamitra, tried to drag Sabala. Beautiful. Then Sabala goes and cries before Vashishta, and Vashishta says, I take you as my sister. Don't cry. I take you as my sister. I will try to help you. Na bhalam kshatriyasyahu brahmano balavattaraha brahmane brahma balam divyam kshatrastu balavattara. It's only diplomacy that is going to win. There's no way. While this is such a coincidental, when the whole world is watching Robert Oppenheimer's motion picture, it's all there in Ramayana. It's several yuga later, we are still, this text is living. What did he say? Nothing you cannot conquer anymore. You cannot conquer the hearts of people. You can conquer land, but you have to conquer the hearts of the people. You have to govern. We saw that in Afghanistan. So that's what he says. Nabhalam Kshatriyas. No, the bravery or the valor, you can conquer land mass, but you cannot control it. Which this Sabala says. Viswamitra, the discussion between Sabala and Viswamitra is also art of diplomacy. Then Sabala says, hey Rishi, try to help me. Then Viswamitra wants to test Sabala. I'm just a rishi. I don't have this many swords and this many armors and this many tanks, but I have only one danda. That is signifying the jnana, the diplomacy, art of na bhalam kshatriyasyastuhu brahmano bhalavatra. But the jnana, the diplomatic skills, the art of understanding the world you have here, rishi, ye brahma rishi, brahmane brahma balam divyam. Your diplomacy, your knowledge, your Brahma Balam. In those days, they talk it as a Brahma Balam. I'm using it in a loosely, saying that diplomacy, the skillful art of diplomatic way of governing. Brahmane Brahma Balam Divyam Kshatratu Balavat. It is going to be far better than the valor Viswamitra has. So you let me handle. I am your servant here, Rishi. Would you let me fight first on my own? This is what happened. Let each parties, concerned stakeholders sort it out, then the whole world comes together. So this is also there. First Vashishta lets the Sabala alone fight with the army of Viswamitra. Tasya tadvachanam sritva surabhihi sa asrujattada. Then it started giving rise to many, many warriors. Tasya humbaro srishta pakhlavaha shatasho nripa. It started creating many, many army. And Valmiki goes to the extent to talk. They are called as, first it creates this poor Deva Ma, creates what is called as Pakhlavaha. Shatasho Nripaha. It creates a group of people known as Pakhlavaha. Shatasho Nripaha. Army people of several hundreds. Nashayanti Balam Sarvam Viswamitrasya Pashyataha. Then it got early positive news. These forces of Sabala were able to kill some forces of Viswamithra while Viswamithra was seeing. Same thing happening in Ukraine. Same thing. Taira Siti Samvrita Bhumihi Shakaihi Yavana Misratiha. Then it started another set of force. They call it Shakaihi Yavanaha. It started creating battalion. First battalion is known as Pakhlavaha. Those are the names Valmiki gives. We have to take it like that. Pakhlava, it's set of a battalion called Pakhlava. Then it started another battalion called Shakaihi, Shaka. And then another battalion called Yavana. All these three forces joined hands and started fighting with Viswamithra's grand army. Prabhavatbihi Mahaviryaihi Amviryaihi Hema Kinjalka Sannibaihi. They were all with Hema Kinjalka Sannibai. Means they were all with such a valor. Tata Astrani Mahateja Viswamitro Mumocho. Setback came. Valmiki describes the fight. First positive news, then setback came. Viswamitra's forces then destroyed all these armies. Right. Tata Asrani Mahateja Viswamitro Mumocha. When Viswamitra Mumocha, when Viswamitra's forces started blasting, Mumocha, Mahateja Viswamitraha, Taihi Yavanaka Ambaja Barbarascha Akuli Kritaha. There are different forces. What are the forces? Yavanaha, Kamboja, Barbaraha. They all scattered hilter shelter. Akula Kriti, they were destroyed. The groups were all destroyed. First, the battalion of Sabala won, and Viswamitra took strength. Viswamitra destroyed Yavanaha, Kamboja battalion, Barbaraha, Akuli Krita. So Viswamitra destroyed these. Okay. Then this Sabala goes, you need a commander-in-chief, right? Swami, we lost all our forces. What do you do? Tataha sthana kulane drishtva Viswamitrastatra mohitane Vasishta chodayamasa. Then, as a commander-in-chief, as a leader, Vasishta takes a leading stage and he chodayamasa. The Vasishta then started forming the groups and he started patting and he chodayamasa, gives confidence. Kamadike suja yogataha tasya hunkarato. Then gaining confidence from the motivation of Vasishta. Vasishtasya chodanat. Vasishta gave that much confidence. Then they all regrouped. Like the war goes on. Then Sabala regrouped and brought so many shakas, so many like Yavanas, and so many people started again regrouping. Then again Viswamitra forces became strong and they destroyed all of them. Then Vasishta was sitting yonder. Then it says, it's come to the time, like what Openmeyer did, right? Then it came to a time that I have to take the bull by the horns. Then what happened? Then Vasishta used his Brahmadanda, he used his power and destroyed 100 sons of Viswamitra, but he left one son alone. 99 sons of Viswamitra. The entire battalion of Viswamitra was destroyed. Tresa aswarataha padata vasishtena mahatma sa aswaha rataha padata. Everything, aswa, the horse, cavalry, the army men, and then Rath, the chariots, everybody were destroyed by Vasishta, and then he made them into ashes. Bhasmi krita muhurtena Viswamitra suta, Viswamitrasya suta. 99 sons of Viswamitra, his cavalry, his army, his chariots, everybody were made into smoke. So far, Viswamitra transferred from being a man to a king. Now he is going to be Raja Rishi. So what happened? So what Valmiki gives captures the emotion of Viswamitra with a beautiful upama. Samudra iva nirvego bhagna dramshta iva uragaha. If the snake is cut with the teeth, it becomes helpless. Bhagna dramshta means teeth, uraga means snake. Then if the ocean doesn't have waves, who will respect ocean? Samudra iva nirvego, there are no ways. Samudra iva nirvego. Bhagna dramshta iva uragaha, the snake without teeth. Uparakta iva aditya sadyo nishprabatam, the sun covered by eclipse. Uparakta iva aditya, uparakta means eclipse. Uparakta iva aditya sadyo nishprabatam gataha ataputra bhalo dina. He became helpless. Dina. Hataputra bhalo dina luna paksha iva dvi. He gives 4 examples. Like birds without wings. Luna paksha iva dvija. Dvija means bird. Luna paksha iva dvijaha. Samudra iva nirvegaha. Bhagna dramshta iva uragaha. Uparakta iva aditya. This is the upama Valmiki gives because he is a kavi. He has to bring in some juice. So, samudra iva nirvego. Bhagna dramshta iva uragaha. Uparakta iva aditya sadyo nishprabatam gataha. Hataputra bhalo dino, all his valor sons were destroyed. Hataputra bhalo dino, luna paksha iva dvijaha. Then Viswamithra said, what do I do? He goes to Himalayas and prays for Shambhu. Kimartam tapas, then Shiva comes. Kimartam tapyase rajan bruhiyate vivakshitam. What are you going to ask? Okay. Varadosmi varo yaste kankshitaha sobhidiyatam. You ask, I'll give. Then he gives all the astras, and he also gives Brahmastra. Then, once he got all this, he got carried away. Like somebody is asking for F-16, but you have to have the capability to use that, right? Similarly, Viswamithra think, okay, I got Brahmastra. Who gave? Shambhu gave. So I'm going to, in a minute, yes, so Vivardhamano Viryena Samudra Iva Parvana. Then he became like a ocean. Prior to that, he was a ocean with no power. Now he became ocean. Hatam mene tadarama vasishtam rishisattam. Immediately, hatam mene. I'm going to kill Vasishta. So he comes. Once he comes with roaring, there is a very famous saying by Vashishta. And was said by Valmiki as Vashishta says, Vadato vai Vashishtasya. So many sages and people in Vashishtasrama, having seen this Viswamithra come roaring, started running. Vadato vai Vashishtasya ma bhaishteti muhur muhu ma bhaishteti. Don't be fearful. Don't be fearful. I will tackle. Ma bhaishta. Don't be fearful. Don't be fearful. He is doing cheerleading. Vashishta. Nashayam yadyaha gadeyam niraharam iva bhaskara. I will vanquish Viswamithra like the sun masked by mist. Niharam means cloud. Niharam, mist. Niharam iva bhaskara. Bhaskara means sun. Nashayami adya, immediately, don't worry. Don't worry. Muhur muruhu. He kept repeating. Vasishta kept repeating to the people who are flying around. Muhur muruhu na bhaishtya. Don't worry, don't worry. Then that Brahmastra he puts, who Viswamithra puts, everybody, Gandharva, Yavana, Yaksha, Kinnara, Agni, everybody got worried. But Vasishta did not worry. Then he absorbed everything because he knew how to tackle. He had a strategy. We should put it that way. Brahmastram grasamanasya Vasishtasya grasamanam. He absorbed that Brahmastra. Once that Brahmastra is gone, that is the ultimate pinnacle, the epitome of the arm. Then once it is gone, Viswamithra is gone. Brahmastram grasamanasya Vasishtasya mahatmanaha trailokya mohanam raudram rupamasiti sudarunam. When he absorbed the Brahmastra, his rupam became different. He was all glowing because he consumed that power. Then Viswamithra says, God, I thought I am going to conquer this guy because I had the utmost superior arm power with me. He could not. So many factors play into the role. So, Dhik balam, Kshatriya balam, Brahma tejo balam balam. Beautiful phrase. Dhik balam. Curse my bravery. Nothing useful. Dhik balam Kshatriya. Exact translation. Dhik balam, Kshatriya balam, Brahma tejo balam. Brahma tej. The diplomacy, the strategy matters. Brahma tejo balam balam yekena Brahma dandena sarvasa. How could he do that with such a wartime strategy? Ekena Brahmadandena sarvasastrani atani me. Viswamithra says, So I need to learn that strategy. So I'm going to go and do tapas again, so that I am a man, became a king, powerful king, became a Raja Rishi. Now I want to be the same like Vashishta, so I'm going to gain all that strategy. Tadetat samavekshyaham prasannendriya manasah. Tapo mahat, I have to do, I have to learn, I have to create the strategy. You have to translate in the present day parlance. Tapo mahat samastasye. I have to go again and do mahat tapas, very big tapas for Brahma. Yadvai brahmatvakaranam. Yadvai brahmatvakaranam. I have to become like Vasishta, to have the same strategy in me, so that I want to transform myself from being a Raja Rishi to Brahmarishi. Shamo damas tapas shaucham shanti arjameva chadas. These things were imbibed by Krishna. The last sarga, chapter, Krishna says, if one has to be a pious man, if one has to be a leader, he has to have 9 qualities. Following the story of Viswamithra Vashishta. Shamo damaha tapaha shaucham kshantihi arjam 6. Jnanam vijnanam astikyam. First, shamodama, controlling the mind. Dhamma, controlling the organs. Tapa, penance, that means focus. Shaucham, cleanliness. Chanti, chanti means patience. Arjavam means truth. Jnanam, knowledge. And strategy is vijnanam, astikyam, be nice to others. Astikyam. Right? Shamo dhamas tapas shaucham shanti arjamevacha jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahma karma swabhavajam. If you have to be a leader, Brahma means brihat, leader. If you have to be a leader, if you have to win, you need to have these 9 qualities as imbibed by Vasishta. Shamo damas tapas shautam shantihi, not shanti, chanti, this is chakaraha. Chanti arjame vacha jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahma karma swabhavajam. So the story continues. This 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 5 sargas are very apt today. In future also. Diplomacy, skill, strategy. Whether to win yourself, shama dhamma, whether you have to control yourself or control somebody, but you control somebody for good cause. So this is Ramayana. So Ramayana is a living text. So Sri Rama Sharanam Samasta Jagatam Ramam Vina Kagati Ramena Pratihante Kalamilam Ramaya Karyam Namaha Rama Tatrasyati Kala Bhima Bhujagau Ramasya Sarvam Vashe Rame Bhakti Kandita Bhavatu Me Ramam Tvamashraye Pavamana Sududu Pattu Padara Vindamulaku Ninama Rupamulaku Nitya Jaya Mangalam Mangalam Gosalendraya Maganiya Gunabdaye Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam Loka Samasta Sukino Bhavantu Samastasan Mangalani Santu Shubham.